Have you ever thought that maybe we're all addicted to games and the internet due to a sickness? Well, that's where Breakout 13 comes in, a newly developed game by AltLab which is defined as an RPG FMV game. The game is based around real life events that transpired in China. FMV games have become really popular over the last few years, but I still think it's a genre that not many people have touched. I'm saying this is the first one that I've actually ever played. The game plays like a movie or a TV show in which you get to make decisions which can affect the storyline you play. If you decide to agree with someone, your story will branch off in a direction with them possibly trusting you more. This will be shown in a little pop-up at the top left, whether or not it was good or bad. There is no right or wrong answer in the game. You literally get to choose the story you want to play. The game centers around a teenage school kid who skips school to go play games at an internet cafe. The school learns about this and decides to expel the pupil. Once the mother finds out about it, she decides to enroll her son into a new school with advanced ways. Wink wink. The moment that you get to your new school, you quickly realise that something isn't right. You notice another student being beat up by the guards on campus. This is really where one of your first choices can make a bit of a difference. You can tell your mum in a hope that she'll take you away from here and that you won't be enrolled. Or you can just let it slide in a hope that what you saw was just a misunderstanding. I decided to tell her, being the loving son that I am and really trying to play on her heartstrings to get away from here. But instead I got called a liar, and I had to apologise for what I just said. Your mum then decides to leave you here. This is the school that you're at now. And having just snitched on the school, the principal then starts the procedure to cure you of your addiction. Now this is truly where the shocking realisation kicks in, that they're trying to administer shock therapy to kids in a hope that they'll start to follow the ways of the principal. Your objective becomes very clear after this. You need to escape no matter what the cost, and it's up to you if you want to try and forge relationships with the people around you to all escape together and bring down this corrupt system. Or you can go it alone, risk sacrificing anyone else who gets in your way just so that you can escape. Now I don't want to give too much away about the story. I think it needs to be played by you, as honestly I think it's amazing. It's kept me gripped for about the 3 to 4 hours it's taken to finish what has been released so far. Now sadly that's where it ends. Only half a game has been released. The full game will be coming out as DLC most likely within the next few months. Me, I'm not the biggest fan of this strategy. I like to think if I buy a game, that it's going to be the full game. I want to sit down and enjoy it for all the time that I can put into it. I don't want to play half a game and then possibly forget what I've done so far, and then pay for it again as DLC just to finish what I've started. The gameplay itself is about 90% scenes in which you get to watch the story you are making for yourself. The other 10% fall under a few different minigames. I've already mentioned that you get to pick choices within the game that will completely change how your game is played, but the other minigames that you do get to actually play, I feel like they add a little bit more enjoyment to the game. One moment I was having to time when to click my mouse to an explosion of a firework, so that when I was banging on this door, no one else heard around me that I was doing it. Another time, I was having to drag my mouse in certain directions across the screen to avoid someone while I was running. It seemed like they really wanted to make you feel part of the game, and it worked for me. These little extra games let me feel connected and more engrossed in the story, and I feel like I was actually part of the success of trying to find the escape. Breakout 13 is a brilliant game, and it's really dragged me into the FMV genre. I've even added a few of them to my wishlist, and hopefully when the DLC is released with the other chapters, it continues its stellar story. If anything, Breakout 13 has helped me break in to a new genre of game that I don't want to put down anymore.